Welcome to Life Hacks Beyond Convention with Dee and Sonya.
Well, and they know if they haven't put the effort in.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's actually something I struggle with a little bit, giving feedback to high school students, like in my current role,
Mm.
is how do you phrase your feedback when you get an assessment that's handed up to you that you know they haven't really put any effort into, even though it might be good.
Mm.
So that's a fine line too, because you
Yeah, that would be hard because we've all had those could do better if they didn't do this or
mm,
yeah. Mm.
yeah, it's really one of those. I don't know. You just walk this line trying to work out how can you give constructive feedback that that is honest.
And has positive impact.
Mm, mm.
Mm.
And as opposed to, because you may actually get an assessment task that comes through that's very good, but you also know that the reason it's good is because they're really good at AI prompting or something, which
Yeah.
which is okay. It's not like it's not like you're not allowed to use AI to assist with your study, but um, I don't know, just that they haven't actually put a whole lot of effort in, as opposed to you get another assessment task
Mm.
that might be nowhere near as good, but you can just tell they've put a lot of thought and effort into it.
Yeah.
And how do you, as a teacher, differentiate between those anyway?
Yeah, because I imagine with a lot of teaching situations, the metric is already set.
Mm.
So, and that,
Yeah, it's really tricky. So it's the actual feedback that I struggle with
yeah,
sometimes. Because it's either it's right or it's wrong,
yeah, it's
and
interesting.
that's the reality with
Yeah.
competency based training, which is what I work in. It's
Mm.
like, well, either you're competent or you're not competent.
Yeah. I
Uh,
had a teacher when I went back to do the matric, English teacher, who made us all read out loud. And some of the kids were really awful. It was a year 13 school in Western Australia. But I just kept getting 7 out of 10, 7 out of 10, 7 out of 10.
mm,
And then I went up and asked her one day and I said, look, how can I improve my mark? Because I'm thinking it's out of 10. And she said, well, you can't get more than that unless you're an accomplished um, writer or author. And I
mm,
went, oh, okay, we're actually marking this out of 7. So that actually lowered
mm,
my what I should have gotten for my marks, but I still topped the class.
mm,
So yeah, so her approach wasn't really effective. It was
mm,
dumbing down everybody who's already struggling.
mm,
Yeah, so I'm glad they do have metrics that are set overall in some ways. But like you said, we've all got different skills. If one's good at communicating what they're thinking, another one might understand it better. Yeah,
mm,
I'm glad it's you and not me.
Yeah, it can just be really tricky sometimes
Yeah,
to be able to say it in a way that's meaningful for the student.
yeah,
Mm,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. That would just be too daunting for me to even approach. So,
Mm.
yeah.
Well, I have discovered that AI can be helpful, because sometimes if I'm really struggling with uh, trying to put a feedback statement together, I'll have all these thoughts.
Mm.
So I'll often put into the AI, I want to do a feedback statement, and
Hmm.
but these are where my thoughts are going, the type of things that I want to say.
Mm.
Can you give it that to me in 2 sentences or less for
Oh, wow.
mm. And it's really amazing what it can spit out.
Yeah.
Sometimes I will, because I've sort of been training it for quite a long time now. It's
Yeah.
getting quite good at knowing my tone of voice.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
so that can be helpful, because sometimes it'll come up with these ideas and you'll think, oh, yeah, that is what I'm trying to say. Oh,
Mm.
good thinking on you. That's super
Yeah.
AI.
Yeah. I mean, it's your content. It's just being rearranged more effectively.
Well, it can streamline your thoughts.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, it just can put your
So,
thoughts into a funnel because it won't all. I mean, sometimes I'll do something like that, and I'll just think, oh yeah, really?
yeah.
That's what you thought I was thinking?
Mm. Yeah.
The algorithm didn't quite work,
Yep.
but if you, yeah, so I have found that AI can assist with that sometimes.
Yeah. Well, I
But
use it in naming videos and shorts because I'm
mm,
really crap at that. Like I can pull all big words out till the cows come home.
mm,
When it comes to from marketing strategy, I've got no idea. I'm dumb as a brick when that comes to
mm.
that. So I use the tools to go, okay, this is what we're talking about, give me a title it'll score well. So that yeah. And sometimes
Well,
they
that's it
it.
because they're focused on, they've been trained around understanding how to analyze trends and different sort of other
Yeah.
metrics. Yeah,
Yeah.
which is useful. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Mm,
So, yeah. And I
mm.
mentioned, like somebody mentioned it last week and everyone sort of said, about AI. And I said, I use it every day. But
Yeah,
I
me too.
think another friend later said to me, but they don't know how you're using it and they don't know the breadth of it. And that's true. They're assuming
Mm,
that all my content is coming out of it or something like that, where I'm not really me. But if that were the
mm.
case, nobody'd listen, nobody'd look. And
Well,
you'd be the
I
same.
was actually talking to someone who's using it in a business context for email, so completely in a sales role.
Mm.
And um, one of her team members had a bit of a email. Now they'd got their email idea because they were given, I forget what their exact task was, but it was something to do with a sales email that all of the different representatives needed to push out.
Yep.
So anyway, one of her workmates had an AI one, and she just thought to herself, "Well, that's a really good start," but she didn't quite like it. So she
Yep.
took
What a
theirs, put it in so that it gave it a reference, and then told it what she wanted it to say.
Yep.
And when she read me the email, so she actually read out, this was
Yep.
the email I got out. She'd only changed one or two words.
Mm.
Man, A, it sounded like her, and
Yes.
B, it was really, really good.
Yeah. We have to
Really
train
good.
it. Yeah. The onus is on us to train it properly
Mm,
and use it ethically as well
mm,
as, yeah, honestly. So,
mm.
I mean, if you produce something with AI and most of it's AI, then say so, you know. And so I did that with some blogs a while back, but yeah.
Well, one of the questions that concerns a lot of people is, will AI take away jobs?
Mm.
And the answer is yes, it probably will,
It
but
already
only if
is.
you're not good at your job.
Well, yeah, there's still I think people comes down to a little bit of an entitlement, expecting that you keep your job even if you're not perhaps performing as well as the competition, which is
Mm,
AI. But what about looking at what your skills are and modifying them, or yeah, working around and seeing how you can contribute? And yeah, I think we talked about this before. If you're blind, you're not. Why would you apply for truck driver's job? Yeah, so
mm,
you have to work within your abilities and then extend those if you can to fit whatever's available. But that's
mm.
probably an entrepreneurial way of thinking and not a worker's way of thinking.
Well, I heard somebody say, and this I think is pretty accurate. They were talking about, as far as AI goes, if you don't use AI well, you probably will end up losing your job um, because what you produce isn't that good. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if you haven't become an expert in your role, then what you can produce is probably the same as what AI can
Yeah.
produce. But if you've actually learned how to master whatever it is that you need to do and can leverage some of the AI stuff,
Yeah.
then AI is not going to go away, is it?
I'll get it working for you, you know. But
Exactly.
but you have to, yeah, I think ethics comes into it too. And anyone who's unethical with it gets called out so quickly. I mean, the reality is you produce something and it doesn't sound like you. Hello, it doesn't sound like you. It's just not going to happen. So it'll probably catch a few people out fairly well.
Mm.
So yeah.
Well, the interesting thing was because when the person I was talking to in the sales role,
Mm.
when she read me the very first email, I could tell immediately that that was an AI email. Like if I'd received that, I would have known that that was just
Yep.
AI generated, hadn't been modified in any way,
Mm.
and I found it AI-ish. I don't
Yeah.
know how else
It's
to describe it.
dry. It's dry. It's not.
Well, it's more than that. Like when it comes to marketing drivel, it gets a bit flowery, a lot of the AIs.
Oh,
Like they're using all these grandiose words, and it's just like, especially here in Australia, we just don't
okay.
talk like that, you know. And maybe they're
What?
American ones. Uh, but but when she put that in as a reference, this is the information that I need to give the client and added a few other references as well. Then
Mm.
when she got the actual email out and made a couple of, she just made a couple of adjustments as well. Her
Yeah.
email was so good,
Yeah.
sounded like it came from a person. If I'd received that email, I wouldn't have necessarily picked it as AI.
Yeah. Mm.
Whereas some of
And
it
it's
just is so obviously AI.
yeah. Mm. And it's because she's put the human element into it.
Exactly.
The pure data is pure data that's everywhere, whereas then there's that human element and she's adjusted it and yeah.
Mm,
And this
mm.
is it. People are trying to cheat and use it straight off and it just stands out like, yeah, crazy.
Well, it does, doesn't it? Whereas, yeah. Because
Mm.
even if you ask it to brainstorm 10 ideas for whatever headlines,
Yeah.
you've still got to go through and work out, well, which one is really where I'm
Yep.
trying to go, or which one sounds like I want it to. And then you
Yes.
can go back to it and say, well, okay, I like number 4 or 5. Let's have another try.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like having that real back and forth, using it as as a brainstorming assistant.
Yeah. And things like
Mm,
there's so many AI programs that the general public probably don't know about. Opus Clip I use
mm,
for the shorts. I punch my video into that and then it breaks it down. Now, some of them are good, some of
mm,
them aren't, but I still have to go through them all. But if I had to sit
mm,
down and do that myself, it would take a lot longer. So I'm
mm,
paying another system to do that.
mm.
Yeah, but once again, you've got to check. So
You do got to check,
yeah,
don't you?
yeah, you
Yeah.
do. And it's I pulled a couple just the other night. Just thought, nah, that's not going to go out there like that, and just
Mm,
deleted it. So yeah.
mm, mm. Yeah, I love the AI, as we've said before.
Mm,
I enjoy
yeah,
it. I enjoy using it. I
yeah.
am aware, though, that we need to be careful.
And that's the thing. You're a thinker. You're not going
Mm,
to just chuck stuff out in the world. So um, yeah, that's that discernment again from age and experience and all the rest of it.
yeah, because it's a bit of a thing. A lot of people are just producing AI blogs, AI books,
Yeah,
AI book covers, AI art with no human intervention
yeah.
into that, and you can usually
I,
tell the difference.
yes, I do when if I do a front what's it called thumbnail for my videos, that's all AI. That's another program.
Mm,
And some of them are funny, so I'm saving them because I'm going to do a blooper reel with those. So, and point out the problems with the picture, like the head's detached and there's 3 feet, or, 6 or 7 fingers or something. So
yeah.
enjoy it too. I mean, they're
Mm,
just a graphic that helps with YouTube production and putting it out there, but also people find them fun. So that's why I've done them. But
mm,
because people see in a picture very quickly rather than just
mm,
seeing two faces, because a lot of ours
mm,
are just the two faces. Yeah.
mm.
So, yeah.
Yeah, like some of your thumbnails are really good.
And
I
so,
like them.
okay, that's good.
Yeah. Yeah, some of
Yeah.
them are really
They're
hard.
fun to do, but sometimes it takes a while because I haven't had to describe pictures before like that. That's been a
Mm,
real learning curve.
it would.
Yeah, yeah. So I'll have to work on that bloopers one because the one where someone's being carried on a stretcher is funny. And I did use it in the end. I thought, no, I'm going to use this and just see if anyone comment. No one did, but they might
Mm.
after I put the bloopers up. Hit the subscribe button below if you want to follow life hacks beyond convention.